I've been bamboozled. Don't fall into the same trap that I did. So I'll admit I'm kind of a noob when it comes to doing these injector LS engines and trying to figure out how to make a hot rod out of all of this stuff. But over the last few months, I've been working on my injectors because when you run a turbo, you're forcing more air down it and you gotta match the fuel to mix with the air. So decapping your injectors is a common thing that people do on these engines when you're running a turbo. Decapping them is really easy. In fact, I'll put a link to the decap video up here if you want to check that out. It's really nothing to it. You just take the cap off and do the thing with the thing and boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, they're unrestricted and then you got them flowing wide open, as much fuel as you could ever want for. But once you decap them, you have to test them because they do have to be flow matched. If you got one flowing way too much and one flowing not enough, your cylinder is going to be out of balance. You're going to be causing damage to your engine. The computer's not going to know what to do. It's going to try to compensate, and it's just not a good idea to run injectors without flow matching them. So here's where the problem happened. I got my truck injectors and I decapped them all and I did the flow test and everything, figured out what the numbers are, and there were a few that were kind of out of the range of the flow match. And these stock injectors are from a 2002 Chevy Suburban, so they're the truck flex fuel injectors from a 5.3. They're part number 2532693. These are made by DENSO. They're pretty common if you get any of these era trucks or Suburbans or Tahoes or Yukons or whatever. You'll find them in there. But when I was doing some research, and even this injector company that I talked to, they said that these AC DELCO ones, part number 1258046, were the exact same injectors. So they must know what they're talking about. So I ordered them off eBay. A couple weeks later they show up, and right off the bat I noticed they look pretty similar, but there's something different. There's this little lip right here that my stock injectors didn't have. So before I did anything, I tested them on my intake, and sure enough, that little thing wouldn't get in the way. So they probably would work. I mean, even the pintle caps looked the same. So then I flow matched them, and they flowed pretty well. But as you can tell, there's some that are 128, and then a lot of them are 110, which the 128 was way higher than my stock injectors. The average was 111. So that was a little concerning that some of those were really high. But not to worry, I only needed a couple of them anyway, so I started decapping them, and that's when I really noticed a difference. Even though these had the 4 holes, same as my 903 truck injectors, once you decap them, the pintle is entirely different. It's a lot smaller. So then I flow tested these decapped, and they were at 130, which my stock injectors were closer to 230. So then I started looking around online and I found this chart that says that these are a different flow rate than the 903. And if you don't decap them, you can probably use them as interchangeable replacements. But if you're decapping them, they will not work. So don't get fooled. These are not the same injectors. So what did I do? Back to eBay. Searching for that 903 part number, I came across these, and look, they even have both part numbers. The ad says they were remanufactured, and the pictures show injectors that say DENSO and even have the 903 part number. So these were the right price, so I bought some, and when they arrived, they looked a little different than the pictures in the ad. They had a completely different basket, which I kind of chalked up to just being remanufactured. Maybe they used a different rebuild kit. It's not a big deal, so I went ahead and flow tested them. And these were kind of all over the map. They were 120-ish, 125, 116. High one was 146, 137. There's a 115 in there. And then when I decapped them, this is what it looked like. Yep, not even close to the same. And I even flowed that one, and it was not even close to the 200s at all. And then I also noticed once you decap them, this whole thing comes off and you can't install the pintle cap anymore. It won't clip on there. And because you can't install the pintle cap, you also can't install that rubber O-ring. So you really can't decap these. Yeah, good times. And looking even more closely, there are these other numbers on my fuel injectors that are from the manufacturer stamping, and these don't have any numbers other than DENSO and the part number. So highly suspect, to say the least. Downright trickery at worst. Questionable at best. Once again, buy it nice or buy it twice. Should have learned my lessons at some point. So back to eBay it is. I found another set of injectors, and this time I made sure it was from a reputable company. Actually, you can actually look up the company online. They're an actual company. They just happen to sell on eBay. These are supposedly flow match. They did cost quite a bit more money. And at this point, I probably should have just gone with the Siemens Deca 80 remanufactured ones are like 260 bucks. The new ones are like 3 something. But yeah, you know what I'm gonna do. Bought them off of eBay. But I made sure this time that they had all these stampings, the photos, everything looked good. Rolled the dice one more time and they came in. They looked legit. In fact, one of them had a different part number. I think it was that 125 part number. And I emailed the company and they 2-day aired me another injector. Good customer service goes a long, long way. So I decapped them and they're exactly the same as my stock fuel injectors. The point of all of this is make sure you know what you're getting. If you're a noob, do tons of research before you spend your money like I did and get bamboozled because of my own ignorance. Yep, I do it every time. Hope this helped you out. If it did, hit that like button down there. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Check out more videos. You can check out the social media stuff down here. Get yourself a t-shirt or a hat or something over here, and I'll see you on the next one.